Deontay Wilder, known as the Bronze Bomber, is one of the most feared punchers in boxing history. His story is a roller coaster of extraordinary triumphs and shocking defeats. From humble beginnings in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Wilder rose to become the WBC heavyweight champion, capturing the imagination of boxing fans around the world. He was celebrated for his devastating knockout power, capable of ending fights in a single punch. But Wilder's career was not without controversy and disappointment. Despite his fearsome reputation, his journey also highlights the challenges of technique, discipline, and consistency at the highest level of professional boxing. This story explores his meteoric rise, the battles that defined his career, and the moments that led to his decline. Wilder's tale is more than just a record of wins and losses. It reflects the brutal reality of heavyweight boxing in the modern era. His career shows that raw power alone cannot secure lasting dominance, and that mental preparation, adaptability, and strategy are just as important as physical ability. By understanding Wilder's path, fans can appreciate both the glory and the harsh lessons of the sport. Deontay Wilder was born on October 22, 1985, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a place where opportunities were limited for young athletes. Growing up in poverty, Wilder faced numerous challenges from an early age. His family struggled financially, and he experienced the kind of hardships that often force children to grow up fast. Despite these difficulties, Wilder had a strong athletic instinct, excelling in basketball and track during his school years. However, life took a turn when he became a father at a young age. The responsibility of supporting a family became a defining moment in his life, motivating him to find a path that could provide stability and success. At first, boxing was far from his mind. He had no formal training, no clear plan, and little exposure to professional fighting. But his natural physical gifts, height, reach, and raw power, gave him an advantage that few could ignore. Wilder's early struggles shaped him into a fighter who relied heavily on determination, resilience, and instinct. His upbringing instilled a hunger for success that would later fuel his rapid rise in the boxing world, proving that adversity can sometimes become the strongest motivator for greatness. Deontay Wilder's journey into boxing began unusually late. Unlike most professional fighters who start as children, Wilder didn't step into a boxing gym seriously until he was around 20 years old. His late start was both a challenge and an opportunity. On one hand, he lacked the technical polish and years of experience that other young fighters had. On the other, his natural athleticism, extraordinary reach, and devastating right hand quickly set him apart. Wilder trained relentlessly, learning the fundamentals of boxing from scratch while carrying the weight of personal responsibilities. His determination was fueled by the need to support his young family and prove himself on a bigger stage. Within a short period, he made remarkable progress, demonstrating power and speed that left even seasoned coaches impressed. His explosive style, though raw, became his signature, captivating fans who craved knockout excitement. While his technique needed refinement, his instincts and knockout ability gave him an edge that many polished fighters lacked. Wilder's late introduction to boxing proves that dedication and raw talent can overcome a late start, setting the stage for a meteoric rise that would make him a household name in the heavyweight division. Despite starting late, Deontay Wilder quickly made a name for himself in the amateur boxing world. Within a few years of training, he showcased incredible natural power and agility that caught the attention of coaches and promoters alike. Wilder's dedication and hard work culminated in his qualification for the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Representing the United States on such a prestigious stage was a remarkable achievement for someone who had only recently begun boxing seriously. At the Olympics, Wilder displayed his trademark punching power, earning a bronze medal in the heavyweight division. This accomplishment not only validated his raw talent but also set the foundation for his professional career. His Olympic success gave him visibility and credibility, proving he could compete with the best fighters in the world. Wilder's journey through the amateur ranks was not smooth. He had to overcome technical gaps and adapt to highly skilled opponents. Yet, every challenge he faced only fueled his determination. By the time he left the amateur circuit, Wilder had established himself as a rising star with a reputation for devastating knockouts and an unorthodox but highly effective fighting style. His rapid ascent was a testament to perseverance and raw athletic ability. After the Olympics, Deontay Wilder transitioned to professional boxing, a move that would define his career. Turning pro in 2008, Wilder wasted no time establishing himself as a dangerous contender. His early fights were characterized by explosive knockouts, often ending opponents within the first few rounds. These victories quickly earned him attention from fans and promoters, who recognized his potential as a major draw in the heavyweight division. Wilder's rise was fueled not just by power but by an aura of unpredictability. He could change the outcome of a fight with a single punch. He strategically built momentum, taking on opponents that allowed him to gain experience while preserving his undefeated record. His towering height, long reach, and athleticism made him a nightmare for rivals, and every fight seemed to reinforce the narrative of a new force in boxing. Promoters capitalized on his persona, branding him as the Bronze Bomber, a nod to his Olympic medal and knockout prowess. By the time he approached world title contention, Wilder had crafted a reputation as a fearsome puncher who demanded respect, setting the stage for his future as WBC heavyweight champion. Deontay Wilder's crowning achievement came in January 2015, when he captured the WBC heavyweight title. Facing Bermane Stiverne, Wilder showcased the full extent of his power, winning by knockout in the first round. The victory marked a historic moment. Wilder became the first American heavyweight champion in nearly a decade. His ascent revitalized the heavyweight division in the United States, which had been searching for a dominant figure. Fans celebrated his victory, drawn to the drama of his knockout ability and his larger-than-life persona. Wilder's championship reign also highlighted the strengths and limitations of his style. While his punching power was undeniable, critics noted gaps in technical skills and defense. Nonetheless, his dominance in the ring and charisma outside of it made him a marketable star. For a time, it seemed that Wilder could maintain his position atop the division for years. His victories were dramatic and memorable, cementing his reputation as a one-punch knockout artist capable of ending fights in spectacular fashion. Becoming WBC heavyweight champion was both a personal triumph and a moment that re-energized the sport in the United States. Once crowned champion, Wilder relied heavily on his knockout power to maintain his dominance. Most of his title defenses ended in the early rounds, reinforcing his image as the most dangerous puncher in the heavyweight division. Fans flocked to his fights, eager to witness explosive endings that could come at any moment. His style was aggressive, often overwhelming opponents who underestimated his speed and reach. Wilder's psychological impact was as important as his physical one. Opponents knew they had to avoid a single, perfectly timed punch. However, reliance on knockout power exposed technical flaws. His footwork, defensive skills, and ability to adapt mid-fight were often criticized, especially when facing technically skilled opponents. Still, Wilder's reign was impressive, with over 10 successful defenses and countless highlight reel knockouts. He became a symbol of American heavyweight boxing, reviving interest in a division that lacked consistent stars. His dominance through knockouts cemented his status as a feared and marketable champion, but it also foreshadowed the vulnerability that would eventually contribute to his decline. Despite his success, Wilder's career began showing signs of instability. Analysts and fans noted that his reliance on power made him vulnerable against elite competition. Critics pointed out his defensive weaknesses, limited combinations, and struggles against fighters who could withstand his punches. The first cracks in his armor appeared during bouts where he struggled to adapt, often relying on a single strategy rather than adjusting to his opponent's style. Media scrutiny intensified, questioning whether Wilder's skill set was sufficient to sustain a long-term reign. As competition in the heavyweight division increased, these vulnerabilities became more apparent. Wilder's confidence remained high, but experience and losses by other heavyweights highlighted his limitations. Small defeats or close calls exposed technical deficiencies that could no longer be ignored. While still dangerous, Wilder faced the challenge of evolving beyond a knockout-focused style. These early signs of trouble foreshadowed the more dramatic turning points in his career and set the stage for the battles that would define the second phase of his legacy. In December 2018, Deontay Wilder faced Tyson Fury in a bout that shocked the boxing world. Fury, known for his size, movement, and technical skill, presented a unique challenge to Wilder's power-centric style. The fight ended in a controversial draw, leaving many fans divided. Wilder scored a knockdown, but Fury demonstrated resilience, surviving Wilder's best punches and frustrating his strategy. The match exposed Wilder's weaknesses: his reliance on single punches, difficulty maintaining control over longer fights, and vulnerability against an unorthodox opponent. Despite the draw, the fight was a major event, drawing international attention and setting up anticipation for a rematch. Analysts debated who deserved the win, with some praising Wilder's power and others highlighting Fury's adaptability. This fight marked the beginning of a turning point in Wilder's career. For the first time, he faced an opponent who could neutralize his most significant advantage. The bout's outcome left Wilder with questions about his future, strategy, and the sustainability of his reign as WBC heavyweight champion. The rematch with Tyson Fury in February 2020 proved to be Wilder's most significant challenge. Fury dominated the fight, exposing the gaps in Wilder's technique and endurance. In the seventh round, Wilder suffered a brutal knockout, losing his WBC title and enduring one of the most devastating defeats of his career. Critics argued that Wilder's reliance on power alone was insufficient at the elite level. The rematch highlighted his inability to adapt mid-fight and the lack of defensive strategy that had previously gone unnoticed. Public perception shifted dramatically, with fans questioning whether Wilder could ever regain his former dominance. The defeat was both physical and psychological, forcing Wilder to confront the limitations of his style. Attempts to rationalize the loss, including injuries and excuses, drew scrutiny and sparked debate about his legacy. The Fury rematch marked the definitive end of Wilder's peak, signaling a fall from his once unassailable position at the top of the heavyweight division. After the defeat, Wilder focused on rebuilding his career, seeking redemption and aiming to reclaim a title. He returned to the ring with several wins, relying on his signature knockout power to remain relevant. However, the shadow of Fury's victory loomed large, making it clear that Wilder needed more than raw strength to compete at the highest level. Analysts noted improvements in technique, but inconsistencies remained. His comeback efforts drew attention, yet skepticism persisted about whether he could challenge the new generation of heavyweights. Wilder's resilience and determination kept him in the conversation, but the path to reclaiming a championship appeared steep. The struggle underscored a central truth of his career: knockout ability alone could not guarantee long-term dominance. Wilder's comeback attempts highlighted both his tenacity and the challenges of evolving in a sport that demands adaptability, strategy, and technical skill alongside physical gifts. Deontay Wilder's legacy is complex, combining extraordinary talent with notable limitations. Fans remember him as one of the most powerful punchers in heavyweight history, capable of ending fights with a single blow. Yet, critics point to defensive weaknesses, limited technical ability, and inconsistency at the elite level. Wilder's rise and fall illustrate the reality of modern heavyweight boxing. Raw power can propel a fighter to the top, but longevity requires skill, strategy, and adaptability. His career inspired a generation of fans and rekindled interest in American heavyweights, while his defeats serve as lessons in the importance of evolution and preparation. Wilder remains a respected figure, celebrated for his courage, determination, and unforgettable moments in the ring. His story reflects both the glory and harsh truths of professional boxing, leaving a legacy defined by both spectacular victories and humbling defeats. Deontay Wilder's journey from a late-starting amateur to WBC heavyweight champion and eventual decline is a tale of talent, power, and human limits. His rise demonstrated how raw ability, perseverance, and resilience can create success against the odds. His fall revealed the vulnerabilities inherent in relying on physical gifts alone, highlighting the importance of technique, strategy, and adaptability. Wilder's career is a cautionary yet inspiring story for athletes and fans alike. It celebrates the thrill of knockout victories, the excitement of world titles, and the drama of high-stakes competition. At the same time, it serves as a reminder that in boxing, as in life, lasting success requires more than talent. It demands continuous growth, discipline, and the willingness to adapt. Deontay Wilder will be remembered as a fighter who left an indelible mark on the heavyweight division, one whose power shocked the world and whose journey teaches lessons beyond the ring. His legacy, both triumphant and tragic, captures the essence of what it means to fight for greatness.